Hello everyone. Today I will be discussing few clinical case scenarios. Mainly I will be discussing 2-3 different types of ulcers. First case is there is 55-year-old female complains of pain and wound over the right foot since 2 months following a torn prick. She is not a known case of diabetes or hypertension. On examination, there is solitary ulcer, that is single ulcer, present over the right foot, extending from the metatarsal till the ankle joint, measuring 2 into 2 centimeter. It has regular margin, it has sloping edge, and floor contains granulation tissue, and there is minimal slough. And skin around the ulcer is normal, and there is no local rise of temperature, and tenderness is present, and range of movement at ankle joint is normal, and all peripheral pulsation is present. So briefly they have given one case, that is case of ulcer. But what is the type of ulcer? What is the diagnosis of this ulcer? Patient complains of pain and wound. In this case, there is sloping edge and floor contains granulation tissue, and there is minimal slough. So this ulcer has sloping edge and floor contains granulation tissue. So the diagnosis may be healing ulcer. Why it is healing ulcer? Because it is of short duration, it has sloping edge and floor contains granulation tissue, and there is no local rise of temperature. That means there is no inflammation, and all peripheral pulsations are normal. So it is a case of healing ulcer. So what is meant by ulcer? Ulcer is a break in the continuity of a covering epithelium. It is the break in the continuity, either skin or mucous membrane. If a patient of ulcer comes to a hospital, what all you should ask? First is history. In history of ulcer, you should ask mode of onset, whether it is following a trauma or torn prick or it has occurred spontaneously, and duration of the ulcer, whether of short duration or longer duration, whether it is painful or no. If inflammatory, usually it will be painful, whether there is discharge present or no, scanty discharge, serous or bloody discharge. And you should ask about history of similar complaints in the past, and whether patient is a known case of diabetes or hypertension or any comorbidities. And on examination, you have inspection. On inspection, you should look for size, shape, number, position, edges, floor, and discharge. And one of the important point is edge. There are different types of edges. There is some mnemonic called super. S means sloping edge. Sloping edge is usually seen in healing ulcers and venous ulcers. U means undermined. Undermined edges is seen in tuberculosis. Usually in tuberculosis, it destroys the subcutaneous tissue faster than the skin. That's why there is undermined edge. P means there is punched out edge. Punched out edge is seen in gummatous or deep trophic ulcers. Usually edge drops down at right angle to the skin surface. That's why it is look like punched out. Next one is everted. Everted or rolled out edge, usually seen in squamous cell carcinoma or ulcerated adenocarcinoma. R is raised edge or pearly white beaded, usually seen in rodent ulcer. In rodent ulcer or basal cell carcinoma, we will see raised and pearly white beaded edge. These are the types of edges. In palpation, you should look for tenderness and local rise of temperature. Local rise of temperature indicates inflammation, and you should check for tenderness, and you should palpate edge, margin, If this is the ulcer, this is the ulcer, this is floor, this is base, this part is margin, and this part is edge. What is margin? Margin is the junction between normal epithelium and ulcer. Margin is the junction between normal epithelium and ulcer. What is edge? Edge is the area between margin and the floor of the ulcer. Edge is the area between margin and floor of the ulcer. What is floor? Floor is the area of ulcer which we can see is the floor. Then what is base? Base is the one on which ulcer rests. We can't see base, so base should not be written in inspection because we cannot see base. What we can see is floor. On palpation, we can feel base. And in palpation, you should check for deeper structures. And whether ulcer bleeds on touch or no. Usually, ulcer bleeds on touch in case of malignancy. And surrounding skin. So this is in brief about ulcer and ulcer examination. So in this case, it is healing ulcer. Why it is healing ulcer? Because floor is covered with pinkish and red healthy granulation tissue, and edge is reddish with granulation tissue, and discharge is light and serous. Healing ulcer is covered with healthy pink granulation tissue. Next case is a 65-year-old man who is a bus conductor by occupation complains of pain in left leg since 5 years, which is on and off, and there is wound in the inner aspect of the left leg. There is wound in inner aspect of left leg. On examination, there is solitary ulcer measuring approximately 4 into 5 centimeter present on the medial malleolus. Floor contains granulation tissue. There is sloping edge and serous and scanty discharge. There is no local rise of temperature and non-tender. Surrounding skin is hyperpigmented and dilated tortuous veins present in the medial aspect of the leg. This is the case. The highlighting points are ulcer is on medial malleolus and there is sloping edge, and surrounding skin is hyperpigmented and there is dilated and tortuous veins present. So the diagnosis is patient has wound, that is ulcer. The diagnosis is venous ulcer. This is the typical area of venous ulcer. It usually presents on the medial aspect of the lower 1/3 of leg, that is nearly around medial malleolus. There is hyperpigmented area, and in this case we can see dilated and tortuous veins. These are the varicose veins. Dilated and tortuous veins are varicose veins, and there is hyperpigmentation. It can cause eczema and pigmentation. Typically, venous ulcers are seen on medial aspect of the lower limb. Usually, patient can have eczema, pigmentation, and slightly patient will be having pain. So, the location is the highlighting point here. It's seen on medial malleolus, and supporting evidence is hyperpigmented and dilated and tortuous veins are present. And occupation also. Patient is a bus conductor. That means patient stands for a longer time, which is the one of the risk factor for varicose vein formation. Next case is there is 56-year-old man who is a bank accountant complains of wound over right heel since 4 months. There is history of amputation of right second toe 4 years back. He is a known case of type 2 diabetes and he is on medication. He is a known case of type 2 diabetes since 15 years. On examination, there is solitary ulcer present on the right heel, that is plantar aspect, extending approximately 4 cm from the calcaneal prominence up to 10 cm proximal to the base of the all toes in the plantar aspect, measuring 7 into 5 cm. It is irregular in shape. Floor contains granulation tissue with slough and serosanguinous discharge. Local rise of temperature present and sloping edge. There is absence of right second toe because there is history of amputation of right second toe 4 years back, and opposite limb is normal. So this is the case. In this case, the significant points are: there is a known case of type 2 diabetes and history of amputation present, and it is present on the right heel, and there is serosanguinous discharge. So the diagnosis is diabetic ulcer. This is the example of diabetic ulcer. In diabetic patients, there is complication called as diabetic neuropathy. Patient will be having a loss of sensation. So this may lead to ulcer formation in the lower limb because patient doesn't feel anything. Even there is trauma in the leg, patient doesn't feel pain and he doesn't notice this ulcer. So it can develop into big ulcer and called diabetic ulcer. And patient can develop diabetic atherosclerosis, which causes ischemia that can lead to ulcer. And glucose laden tissue is vulnerable to infection. If patient is having high sugar level, that glucose laden tissue can be more vulnerable to infection that can lead to ulcer formation. These are the important roles that lead to the formation of diabetic ulcer. Whenever a patient comes to OPD, if he is a known case of diabetes, doctor should spend 2 minutes to look for the both heels and foots for any ulceration, because if he is a known case of diabetes and it is uncontrolled, there may be chances of ulcer formation. Patient doesn't notice because he doesn't feel any pain because of sensory neuropathy. Next case is, there is 60-year-old man present with a wound in the left side of the face below the left eye since 2 years. Initially it was smaller in size, which was increasing slowly. Since last 6 months, it is increasing rapidly to present size. On examination, there is solitary ulcer present on the left side of the face below the left orbit. Irregular margin, edge is raised and rounded. Floor is covered by scab. On removing the scab, there is slight bleeding. The base of ulcer is indurated. So the highlighting points are: the ulcer is in face area and it is below the orbit, below the left eye, and it is increasing rapidly, and there is raised and rounded edge, and it has bleeding, and the base is indurated. So the diagnosis may be rodent ulcer or basal cell carcinoma. Why it is basal cell carcinoma? Because there are supporting evidences like wound is on face, that is below left eye, which is the typical site for basal cell carcinoma, and it is increasing rapidly 6 months in 6 months, and the edge is raised and rounded and base is indurated, which indicates there is some underlying malignancy. What is the common location of basal cell carcinoma? It is most common in face. Usually it is present above the imaginary line joining the angle of mouth and the ear lobule. It is usually present above the imaginary line joining the angle of mouth and ear lobule. In this case, there is ulcer in the face below the left eye and the edge. In basal cell carcinoma, the edges are raised and there is slight bleeding. Usually bleeding on touch indicates the underlying malignancy, and base is also indurated. So this is a case of rodent ulcer or basal cell carcinoma. So in this picture you can see the ulcer in the face. So rodent ulcer is usually present in the face. usually above an imaginary line joining the angle of mouth till the ear lobule. So this is the imaginary line. Above this, it is the most common site for rodent ulcer. So there is one terminology called as Turban tumor. Turban tumor. It may be the variety of basal cell carcinoma. Usually, stroma is arranged in a peculiar transparent cylinders, and in this turban tumor, it forms an extensive turban-like swelling over the scalp. Usually, it forms an extensive turban-like swelling over the scalp. It forms the extensive swelling over the scalp which looks like turban. That's why it's called turban tumor. Some surgeons will say it is a variant of BCC, that is basal cell carcinoma. So in this session we have discussed clinical scenarios of different types of ulcer, that is healing ulcer, venous ulcer, diabetic ulcer and rodent ulcer. These are important clinical scenarios based on the location, based on the history and based on the clinical findings. We can come to a diagnosis. So if you like this video, please click like button and share this video to your friends and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos. Thank you.